So let's kick off this deep dive with a question for you listening. What if that tool you lean on every day for data integration, the simple one, is actually starting to, well, hold you back?
It's a really interesting thought, isn't it?
Yeah, today we're exploring exactly that, focusing on a tool many people use, Stitch data integration.
Yeah.
And we're asking, is simplicity always the best thing? Or can it become a kind of ceiling?
Right. And we're looking at some insights that really challenge us to think about data integration differently, especially when businesses start getting bigger, more complex.
Uh-huh. Because what works brilliantly at the start might quietly become a bottleneck later on.
Exactly.
So our mission here is pretty clear. Unpack where Stitch is fantastic, figure out where its limits start to show, especially as businesses mature, and crucially, what all that means for your data strategy.
Okay, so where should we start? Maybe with Stitch's superpowers. Simplicity and speed.
Yeah, let's do that. Stitch Data, now part of Talend, and Click too, right? They really made a name for themselves by simplifying the EL bit of ELT, extract and load.
Absolutely. They took something that used to be quite complex, getting data from point A to point B, your warehouse, and made it incredibly straightforward.
And its strengths are, I mean, they're obvious. It's clean, it's fast, very low maintenance,
Definitely.
perfect if you're pulling data from standard SaaS tools, cloud databases, and just dumping it into, say, Snowflake or BigQuery. It just works.
Yeah, almost like set it and forget it for those common sources.
And for teams just starting out, or maybe specific departments needing to centralize data fast.
Oh, it's super effective there. It automates getting that raw data, think Salesforce, HubSpot, MySQL, whatever, straight into your warehouse.
Ready for transformation downstream, maybe using tools like dbt.
Precisely. It nails that initial quick ingestion, getting you up and running.
Okay, so it's great for getting off the ground. But here's where it gets interesting. When does that simplicity, its biggest advantage maybe, start to cause problems for growing businesses?
Well, that's the key transition, isn't it? As companies grow, the question changes. It's not just, is it working anymore?
It becomes, is it still enough?
Exactly. And enterprise environments, they develop these much more complex needs. Things Stitch wasn't really built for.
Like what specifically? What are the first signs?
Things like needing complex data transformations before it even hits the warehouse. That's a big one.
Right, not just a loading raw data.
Or needing really robust data quality checks, integrated lineage tracking, things like that baked into the pipeline itself.
Not bolted on afterwards.
Yeah. And then there's orchestration, managing dependencies between different data pipelines, maybe conditional workflows based on certain outcomes.
Okay, so more complex process management. What about speed? Does that become an issue?
It can, definitely. Think about real-time use cases, fraud detection, maybe live operational dashboards. Stitch's micro-batch approach, syncing every few minutes, might not be fast enough there.
Uh-huh. And what about tricky data sources?
That's another big one. Integrating with, older systems, mainframes, or maybe obscure APIs that aren't standard.
Stuff that Stitch just wasn't designed for.
Yeah. Right. So its limitations become clearer. It lacks those deep transformation features. It doesn't have comprehensive governance tools built in, and it's not truly real time.
You mentioned Singer Taps earlier, the open source connectors. Can't they help extend it?
They can, yes, but there's a hidden cost. Building and, more importantly, maintaining those custom taps can become really complex.
Ah, so it's almost like taking on a custom build project yourself.
Kind of, yeah. You're responsible for updates, bug fixes. It can end up being just as much work, sometimes more, than a more involved solution from the start.
Okay, that makes sense. So given all that, who is Stitch? Still a really good fit for today.
Oh, it's still a great choice for many. Startups, absolutely. Teams that need to move fast, departments dealing mostly with standard tools.
Especially if they have strong skills downstream, right?
Right.
Like strong SQL and dbt capabilities to handle the transformation after the load.
Exactly. If your strength is in the T part after the data lands, Stitch's EL focus can work perfectly. It's about matching the tool to your specific needs and team skills right now.
So for listeners out there, maybe running Stitch now, what are the warning signs, the sort of red flags that might suggest, hey, maybe it's time to look beyond Stitch?
I'd say watch out for increasing data quality problems. That's often a sign your needs are outgrowing the simple load.
Or maybe your team is building really complex, painful workarounds in dbt just to compensate.
Yes, that's a huge one. If your dbt models are getting incredibly convoluted just to handle things that could potentially be done upstream, that's a sign.
Okay, what else?
pressure to support those real-time use cases we talked about, or if you find yourself needing to integrate more and more of those, let's call them oddball data sources, ones that aren't easily supported.
Right, the difficult ones.
Those are all indicators you might be hitting that simplicity ceiling.
So if you are hitting that ceiling, what's the next step? Do you just rip Stitch out entirely? Or is there another way?
Often the solution isn't necessarily ripping and replacing everything. Many companies adopt what you could call a hybrid approach.
Okay, hybrid. How does that work?
It means you keep using Stitch for what it does best, that fast, simple ingestion for your standard sources. Keep that speed and efficiency.
Right. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Exactly. But then you bring in a more comprehensive platform like our source mentioned Talon Data Fabric as an example for the really tough stuff.
The complex transformations, the tricky integrations, the use cases that need heavy governance or maybe real-time capabilities.
Precisely. So you get the agility of Stitch for the straightforward tasks and the depth and power of a more robust platform for the complex mission-critical ones. It's kind of the best of both worlds.
That makes a lot of sense. It's pragmatic. So let's circle back to where we started this whole deep dive.
Yeah.
Is Stitch enough for your organization?
And the answer, maybe unsurprisingly, is it depends. It really boils down to your specific data strategy, your team's capabilities, and maybe most importantly, where you see your business going.
What works today might not cut it tomorrow.
Right. The needs of a startup are very different from a mature enterprise facing complex regulations or needing deep analytics.
So really understanding the strengths, but also the limitations of the tools you have now, whether it's Stitch or something else, that's absolutely critical.
It's not just about solving today's data problems. It's about designing a data architecture that can actually scale with you.
An architecture that serves your needs now and is ready for what's coming next. Which leaves us with a final thought for you to ponder. Looking ahead, what does your future data strategy truly demand?